more Geeks Like Us, episode 15. Let's talk about Moon Knight, number 20 for Marvel Comics. Nate, what you think?
He's the Batman of Marvel. He is. Just in the way he looks and how he fights and all that. The gadgets he threw out a couple times, I'm like, hey, this kid's Batman, but with no ears and no bat symbol. I don't know. I like the art in it a lot. Classic story is better than the first one. That's about it. It's good.
But, I don't know. I thought the classic story was good, but, you know, I'm more of a modern kind of guy, so for me, the classic story, it was hard to read because of the artwork, but certain spots in it that I really like.
It is what we refer to as classic comic book art.
Yeah, it's the 4-color printing.
Very old school. I mean,
I didn't realize he's that old. Like Moon Knight's that old.
I made my little notes on the paper or whatever, you know, just so I could remember some points I want to talk about. And I was like, okay, the new story, good. The new art, good. The old story and the old art, well, it's old. It's not bad. It's just, I mean, it's what it is. It's the old stuff.
It's of that age, that time period where
the episode 1 of the old stuff said Stan Lee Presents. How long has it been since you've seen that in a comic?
A couple issues ago.
Oh,
Spider-Man.
Whatever.
It's very dated.
Well, yeah,
but it was in there just for, you're like, hey, check this out. You guys remember this? Look how far he's come. They still don't talk about what happened to Buck.
Yeah. So for any of you that are old school Moon Knight fans, let me know what happens to Buck. Does he come out of his coma? Does he live? I gotta know. It's like a soap opera back in that old story.
He gets raped by a werewolf and then just kind of leave it there.
I don't think he got raped by a werewolf.
I don't mean sexually.
Oh, okay.
You mean just beat up?
Yeah.
No, like ripped to pieces.
Literally.
Beat up.
No, this is beating up.
This is ripped to pieces.
He got his butt kicked.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe they kicked it at any point. You should read.
Never mind. Ripped up, beat up.
And again, you know,
same thing.
You see the Moon Knight you see now seems like a much darker character. Like he said, he seems kind of like the Batman type character. Whereas the old one, the first issue, he was just a hired thug, basically. Like, here, put this suit on, go get this guy. And he didn't care about what was going on, didn't care initially who was the good guy, who was the bad guy. Didn't care. I'm in this for my money.
10,000.
Doing this for the money, in it for the money, don't care what happens in the meantime. I'll trash talk and beat the crap out of this guy. I don't care if he's the Pope. Then at the end, he had his little moral dilemma and decided, like, I'm going to fight alongside the werewolf. Why is the werewolf still trying to attack me? Oh, yeah, I beat the crap out of him for 2 issues.
You know, I didn't hear a thing you just said because all I can think of now is a werewolf in the Pope's clothing with the hat and everything. I'm like, that would be a cool comic.
I forgot does Walking Dead and Battle Pope. Maybe
Robert
Werewolf Pope.
Mm-hmm. I'd still probably read it. If he wrote it, I would read it.
If you do not agree with the pontiff, you don't pull the shades.
Wow. Anyway.
But I agree that the artwork on the new current issue of Moon Knight was very nice. I mean, it was good. It was heavily inked, but yet I found that suited this story.
For people who have not been reading Moon Knight, so they're not real sure what's going on in this, obviously the new issue, they reflect back to 1994. They do a flashback of him tangling with this werewolf, which, by the way, werewolf looks much cooler in the new artwork.
Well, yeah. Well, the older one's more like a wolfman, not a werewolf.
But they flash back to this little thing, you know, this is what happened in 1994. They start the comic off with, like, what we're assuming is present day. You get a couple panels in, it says 1994, and the whole rest of the new comic is flashback. The comic kind of ends with this guy walking off in the sewers, and in the beginning, before the flashback, it's got the werewolf guy kind of living in this. I mean, it makes me, and I know you said, kind of curious as to, you know, how is it, what's going on here, what's he doing in the sewer?
Yeah, it would have been nice for us to be able to review something current in Moon Knight's career, but
then why'd you pick to read it?
Well, because it's a self-contained issue.
It very much is, because it happened several years ago.
Exactly, 1994. But I guess with that, we didn't really mind the comic. I don't think it's all right.
I give it 2 thumbs horizontal.
It was very mediocre.
Not
They're leaning
bad.
towards up, but they're just still here.
So with that, we'll go ahead and wrap this installment up. We'll be back soon with another comic review.